Men and women. Men, at least here in the West, have put way too much importance on women. They have put women on a pedestal. Maybe it's because the media does that. And I'm going to tell you, I have a lot of experience with women, and women do not want to be put on a pedestal. Contrary to what many of them may say, that they want to be treated like a queen, they don't want to be treated like a queen. They may enjoy it for a short time, a day or two, but they soon tire of it. You got to think about this. Since the beginning of time, men and women have been here, and men have not been treating women like queens. So thousands of years of evolution and instinctual drives in women turn them off to a man who treats them like a queen or puts them on a pedestal. They don't feel safe with a man like that. Now, maybe that doesn't make rational sense, but does it make rational sense for you as a man? If, let's say you're married, you have a beautiful wife, family, and some beautiful young woman comes up to you and hugs you, and you're extremely attracted to her, and you get excited, physically excited. Okay, now you're not going to take action on that, but it was a response that you actually had no control over. You got an erection, okay? Now, of course, you don't have to follow through on that response, but this is an evolutionary, instinctual response. Well, it's the same way with women. Women are attracted to a man who doesn't need them, who doesn't put them on a pedestal, who doesn't think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now, that doesn't mean he treats them badly or disrespects them or any of that, although there are a lot of women who are attracted to that. This is just the way it is. Now, if you don't believe me, watch the movies. What kind of men are women attracted to? And, of course, you can't always believe movies, but look at the actors that portray that. They portray this certain character because they know women are attracted to that type of character. And in life, how many times have you seen a woman leave a stable man, a good man, for a bad boy, for a guy who's partying, fighting, drinking? I mean, this happens quite regularly. It doesn't make any logical sense, but it happens. It's happened to me. I've seen it happen to other guys. Watch YouTube. They'll tell you how that works. Women become bored very easily. And now, one of the reasons this is so profound nowadays is where it wasn't like 50 or 60 years ago, is because women live in a country where men have created the illusion that a woman does not need a man. And directly, she does not need a man because men have set up so many programs, systems, and safety nets for women that if her man leaves her, or God forbid her man has an accident and dies, there's safety nets and programs that will support her and keep her off the streets, help feed her children and herself. Now, but men have set these up, and men keep these programs going. Okay? In other countries, and this is why women are still more feminine, one of the reasons in other countries, because they're raised to be, they don't have this. They don't have all these safety nets. They need a man directly to have any kind of a decent life. So they have no problem cooperating with men. You could say submitting. People hate that word here. It just means that to submit means that the man has a mission and she has a submission, and they work together. They cooperate for the greater goal, which may be the family, which may be their success in business, whatever it happens to be. It doesn't mean she's a slave or his servant. Although I will say that we are servants of each other when we're in a relationship. The man protects and provides, and the woman stays home, takes care of the family and the kids, and she provides and protects the children while the man's gone. That's just one way to look at it. But here in America, we have this strong, independent woman who thinks she doesn't need a man. Well, that's almost as ludicrous as a man saying he doesn't need a woman. Well, guess where humanity goes if we decide we don't need each other and we stay apart? It's called extinction, but something here people don't realize it. I was hearing the other day that the Muslims are outbreeding the Americans here in the U.S., and eventually there will be more Muslims than Americans. Why is that? Because Muslims still adhere to traditional values. They still want to have a family, and women still cooperate with the men. It's part of their religion, at least as far as I've read. I'm not real schooled on it, so you can look that up yourself. But this is what I've studied and what I've learned. Okay, as where in America, the Christians in general, now I'm not saying all women or all men. In general, they become the strong, independent, working woman. And you got two parents working. I was just reading yesterday that $100,000 they can't make it on $100,000 anymore. Why is that? You got the woman working, the man working. One thing is daycare, living above their means. They got the two vehicles, the two Escalades in the drive, the big house, the storage shed with all the stuff in it because they don't have room because they have so many things. They got the swimming pool, got the house at the lake or the rental place at the lake, the timeshare thing. They eat out every night. I mean, I could go on and on and on. As where in these other countries, men and women live for much, much less, and they're just as happy, if not happier. How is that? Because we've become accustomed to so much pleasure and comfort here. And has it made us any happier than any other nations? I don't think so. The point of the whole thing is this. You have to be realistic about everything. And I'm a firm believer in achieving and believing you can have whatever you want in life. But our culture has changed so much in the last 50 years that many guys, the passport bros, are going out of the country to find women because they're looking for more feminine women. But most women, not all of them, in the U.S. have become masculinized. They're thinking like men, they're acting like men. And many of the younger generation are opting out about having kids or about getting married. With a 50% divorce rate, 60 or 70% initiated by the woman, why would a man want to get married? He loses access to his kids, a lot of times access to his home, and half of everything he's got, if not more. Then he's paying child support and also has to pay for college if the kids want to go to college. When we all know that you don't need college. I didn't even graduate from high school. And my income is high enough to support my 6 kids that I've raised for the last 12 years by myself without any help from a woman, without any child support. So there you go. Anyway, that's something to think about. If you're a young man and you're frustrated here, I mean, I have young sons and I have a daughter, and I don't know what they're going to do as far as finding a woman. And my daughter's having a hard time finding a man who is not feminized. They all turn into little girls after she starts talking to him for a while, asking about the relationship, asking where this is going, if they're a thing. These are all the roles of a woman. I mean, yeah, of the woman. But now the men are starting to take on the woman's roles. When I was growing up, they were asking the woman, when's he going to propose to you? You better get you a man. What are you going to do? Now the men are saying, when are you going to put a ring on it? They're chasing these women around, putting them up on a pedestal like they're the prize. And neither one is the prize. You need to get together to work together to have a family. You don't have to look at it like one's a prize or one isn't the prize. You should both think well of yourself and believe in yourself and believe in the roles that nature has put down for each of us. Nature always wins. Nature always wins. If you're a man, you need to act like a man, and if you're a woman, you need to act like a woman. Hey, if you want to go out as a woman and have a career, that's great. But if you got a couple kids, isn't that a career? Isn't raising those children one of the most important things as a woman you can do in your life? Or you think it's better to go out and make, what, $30 or $40 an hour and have some minimum wage daycare worker raise your kids? I mean, that's not what I want for my kids. I've raised my kids, and their mother helped until she decided she wanted to go off and do the party life. Of course, she regrets it now, but some things, decisions affect us for the rest of our lives, as well as the rest of my children's lives. These are just some things to think about, and I always give you something to think about. So think about that. Have a great day. Take care.